So, Dicey Dungeons, if you haven't heard about it, it's like one of those dungeon crawling types of games where it's kind of set up like a game show, which I think is a really big plus for it because it lets itself have a really good sort of framing device that also lets it not take itself too seriously, really jokey. I love the style of it. Like, gosh, there's just so much personality. There's a lot of different dice, as you saw there. If I had to pick a favorite, I'm not entirely sure which my favorite would be, because they're each so unique and fun in different ways, which is great. Like, this is one of those games that you can tell they did a lot of testing. Hi, Aqua! Oh, there's so many different types of enemies, too. Like, I think you fight like there's like a marshmallow that's on fire. He's like, meow. There's like what else is there? There's a lot of them. I'm trying to remember the exact way they look. He's like a guy made a wicker. He's weak to fire. These guys don't hang out. But yeah, each one of them has their own strategies and own personalities. Which, like, you'll see them on the map as they're going through, and you'll be like, ooh, okay, so I have to, for instance, this guy always has Venus Flytrap, which is, he does dice damage, and if it's a 6, he heals. And then countdown. Oops. Can't spell. There's a countdown one that does like 9 fire damage. So you have to like remember that so that you're like, oh, I should do a lot of damage because if he heals, that'll be a pain. But also, there's a lot of fire damage there, so you gotta be careful. Also, ooh, I didn't know that the creator of this game also made VVV. I do know that it's, at the very least when I bought it, and probably still so right now, it's very cheap. Very affordable. Can I spell today? No. It was like, I think under $20, or only just a little bit over $20. Definitely worth the buy. I hadn't played for a while, and I played yesterday just to make sure I was like fresh for discussion, and it was very tempting to like keep playing. And like I picked it up right away, you know, like there was no having to get back into the groove or anything. It was just really nice to pick up. But I had other things to do, so. What else? Oh yeah, the sound design is especially excellent. Like, it just feels, for a lack of a better word, crisp. And just the feel of playing the game is like, oh. So, there's a number of different playstyles. I won't say all of them, just to keep some of the mystery. So, Warrior is the most standard one. He's kind of like the one that you play to get used to the game and the mechanics. Obviously this guy here. That one. Right there. And then Thief, who's supposed to be the next hardest. So like how do I say this? What's the term for it? Chip away? Where you do a little bit, but you do a lot of hits. He's supposed to be like level 2. He's supposed to be level 2, but honestly, I found him harder than Inventor. Ooh. Her shtick is that, well, obviously again, Thief. Pretty obvious right there. Damage over time, yeah. Well, sort of. It's like a lot of hits rather than like, for me, damage over time is like poison. Yeah, death by 1,000 cuts. The inventor, she kind of like gets a new main weapon every fight. So it's really a toss-up. But I found it like easier. I think specifically the thief just had one challenge that was just like, ah. Took me forever to get that one. It was like the second level. Luckily, you don't have to do the levels in order, so that's really nice. That even though the second one for the thief was really giving me trouble, I was able to just skip to the third one. And that one I did pretty good. Design-wise, I like the inventor of these three the most because she's got freckles. She's got freckles, and that is a big plus for me. Oh yeah, one of the downsides was that thief's second one. I don't know if it was just me and the luck of the draw, which the main enemy is Lady Luck. So so the way that the combat works, if I can describe this, is I'll use Mr. Wickerman as an example because I already wrote down. So you just roll regular dice. And you have a certain number of them. Depending on who you're playing as, you might have more or less. So like the thief, I believe, starts off more because he does such like chip damage. So, say 2. And your enemies also roll dice. And you kind of have these, you have equipment, but I like to think of them as cards. So Mr. Wickerman here has the Venus flytrap one, right? And when he rolls a dice, he can put it in there, and then that same number goes here, so blank damage. And a lot of them have special effects, so then it's like if 6, it heals 2. Any other number is just going to do the damage, but that specific card, if you get lucky and do a 6, and you put it in there, not only will you do 6 damage, it'll also heal 2 HP. And there's a number of different cards. There's a lot of them. I probably haven't even seen all of them. So like another one of his is, I think Torch or something. Don't quote me. But it's a countdown. So I believe it starts at 12. And then it's like 9 fire damage. So if he puts a 6 on there, the countdown will go down to 6. And once it reaches 0, it'll do that 9 damage. And that number stays the same between turns. So next turn, it's still going to be 6. It's not going to reset. Yeah, you get a lot of different combinations and different enemies. Like there's a gargoyle that's like, his main thing is he has a bunch of, I think they're rocks? No, avalanche. And it has to be minimum of, I think, 3. And then it'll re-roll the dice. He only has 4 of these, though, so he can't just keep going over and over again. But, like, that's a lot of damage. And then he also has one card in the middle that's a block. But it has to be a 1. So when it re-rolls, if it's not a 3 or higher, he can't use the avalanche, but that leaves a 1 in 2 chance that he's going to be able to get that lock on you. So when you see the gargoyle there, you're like, oh, okay, he's going to have he's going to hit really hard, and I have to worry about locks, which are like different effects and such. I probably won't do very good at, like, explaining it. If you do want to see a good start of the game, I would recommend it's a good jumping in point, which is actually what got me into the game, is Steven plays first 20 of the game. And as this name implies, it's a series that he does where he plays the first 20 or so minutes of a game. So you and him get a feel for the game. You know, you sit down, you kind of see it. He often gets it gifted to him. So it's almost like a demo without having to actually do the demo, which is nice if there isn't a demo for the game. But when I watched that, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, if that's coming out on Switch, I want to get that. Because it was really fun. It gave you a good feel of it. Yeah, each combat is kind of like a unique puzzle almost. It's also, what is it? I think it's roguelike. I think that's what the term is. I don't play a lot of games in this genre. But it's that feeling of every single time you play one of the challenges, you're going to get different weapons. It's never going to be the same. But yeah, the enemies attack with different rules. So they have different equipment. And you keep getting new equipment. You can upgrade your equipment. I know there's an enemy. It's called Copycat. And he has a mirror in front of his face that he holds up. And his whole shtick is that he copies your equipment. Which is kind of funny because the game, it doesn't slow down, but you can tell it's like loading the best strategy. Which is really, really neat. But yeah, I highly recommend that if anything I'm saying about the game today interests you, because as I put in the post, I would like to spread more word about the game. I think it's really, really good. It's really fun. This is definitely a good starting point, because I don't remember exactly how long the video is, 20, maybe 30 minutes, but it does give you a very good look into what the game is about. I do remember when I was watching it, because everybody's strategies are different. I was like, no, you should do this one instead, or no, don't throw away that weapon. Which was part of why I wanted to play it, was that I was like, man, like I would have done things differently. Not that he did it bad, it was just my strategies were different. One nitpick I actually do have, because I want to be fair in both aspects of good and bad, is sometimes the menus are like, they're usually like one button press for doing any action, which is nice and fast for the most part, but sometimes I'll do things by accident that I did not want to do because it is just one button press. So occasionally an "Are you sure?" would be nice. just here and there. Because I have definitely accidentally thrown away weapons that I thought I was upgrading, or skipped my turn when I did not want to skip my turn. For the most part, though, it's good. It's just, it was something I noticed here or there that I was like, darn it. Which, especially if you're on a roll and you accidentally press the button, it's like, no! No, come back. Yeah, and I get why they didn't, because it can disrupt, if you put it for everything, it would disrupt the flow, I would say. But there were definitely, I think, like the shop and the upgrade place were definitely ones that could have benefited from that, because I think their general look and feel were kind of similar. So like I said, I thought I was like buying something one time, and I was actually throwing it away. So yeah. I think I had mentioned before, but one really big plus for me is that each playthrough is random, basically. And by that I mean like the weapons you get. And that's actually awesome because you can find new favorites. You know, like weapons and such that you never would have used before if you just stuck with, you know, your old favorites suddenly come to light because you don't have the other options because you're just getting different ones all the time. Aqua asks, do you ever feel like you got screwed by RNG since it's about rolling dice? Yes, but for the most part, it actually wasn't a bad thing. Not bad here. Because your enemy is Lady Luck. Yeah, so the main personification of your, and I hope I'm drawing it right, your main enemy in the game, like the person that you have to stand up to, is Luck herself, you know, Lady Luck. So when Luck is kind of screwing you over, at least to me, it wasn't as annoying because that's just literally who you're fighting. Like, that is actually your enemy, so it actually, like, felt, I don't know, more like the character directly doing something to you. I don't know, it was actually very cool how that felt. If that makes any sense. Now, there were definitely times where I got screwed over so many times, thief, second one, that it did get like, ah! But since you can do any mission that you want in any order again, I could just go to a different mission. It also helps that because the enemies also deal with luck. So, like, there'd be times where you were having great rolls and then the enemies weren't. And you were just like, yeah. So it didn't feel too bad to kind of have a few rough rolls yourself because, like, you saw sometimes enemies can't even attack you because they have certain, like, parameters that they need to fill depending on their strategies. You know, like, maybe they're really hoping for that, or even the gargoyle here. Like, he could get super unlucky and roll all 2s, which would mean he can't do anything. You know, or even he rolls one thing, like he rolls 2, 2, and then 3, and it re-rolls to a 2 right away. So he gets 1 hit on you, and that's it. You know? Right? Isn't it a clever frame device? Love it. But yeah, I loved the random nature of the weapons so much because, truthfully speaking, I'm usually somebody that sticks to my guns, my favorites, and just kind of rolls with that. Rolls with it. So being almost forced to try out new things was great because there were so many different strategies I was able to do because they did that. Which also, again, like, this is a game that over and over again, you could tell they did a lot of testing and quality control. Like, it's very solid. Along with the designs of the enemies and the different weapons you pick up and the different playstyles of the characters. There were so many things that needed to be tested, but clearly were. And just, mwah. Yeah, there is a little minor story to the game, enough that I do consider some things spoilers. Very few things. It's not like a very huge, depthful game, but you're basically on like a game show and trying to escape from the show. And like the other enemies in there are actually other contestants that like lost the show. So they're stuck down there too. It's enough to like get you being like, yeah, I'm I'm behind this, let's go. But like not so much that it's like too deep for the atmosphere that they've built. If that makes any sense. Because it's very much like a fun little romp. Yeah, there's also like a built-in achievement system almost. Which there's a lot of cool things in there. One of which I actually got on my other playthrough, which was get over 60 HP. And usually you cannot get that much HP. But the way I did it was using dramatic exit, where I got super lucky, because the way that this one works is that you do 1 damage. If it kills the foe, you get +2 max HP. So I got so lucky when I was able to use this enough times that, along with leveling up my HP, I actually got 66 at the end. Hilariously with the thief. The one that I was like the worst with. Well, no, there's actually another one that I was not as good with. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, so there was a lot of variety in the episodes. So let's write those. So for the episodes, for each character, they had 6. And it would be, the first 3 are unique, and then the last 3 were like same-ish. Like they were all parallel world, elimination, and then like, I think it was bonus was the other one. And I think that rather than doing like this, they should have done sick. I feel like it would have worked a little bit better, personally, to go every odd one, so that it didn't feel like the last ones were kind of almost skimped out on, if that makes any sense. To make the variety spread a little bit better. So Alka asks, how much did you play the game? Did you beat all the episodes? I did not beat all the episodes. I beat, let's see, how many are there total? I think there's 6 characters. And I beat all of the warrior, all of the thief, and then I did 5 for the rest of them. So I'm only missing 4 episodes for me. Though I do think that once I complete all those, it does unlock more of them as well. I think it's like hard mode or something. But I just haven't gotten around to that. So I was playing other games and such. Yeah, there's quite a bit of content in there. Very, very fun. Oh, one of the play styles. It's set up like a deck of cards instead of established like weapons that you bring into the battle. So you have all of them technically available, but you have to like either discard a card or use it and then more cards come. And that specific playstyle is so satisfying, because you can use like a super boost to fill the cards if you fill up that limit break or whatever. And it's so satisfying to be able to go through the entire deck in one turn. Just wrecking everything. It makes you feel smart. It makes you feel smart when you got, like, the different strategies. I think that's actually all I had written down to say. Oh no. Which made sense. It is a shorter game. Let's see. I'll call this Dicey Doodles. So with that said, that leaves half an hour. We can make some dice of our own. So there is thief dice here. Inventor. And then warrior. Ooh, you can actually see. You can actually see some of the enemies here. So this is a wolf. There's the marshmallow guy I was talking about. Oh, and this is like a poison dude. He's poison dude. Poison dude. Put that in there. So what kind of dice should we make? If you were a contestant, what would you be? I'll start with making my own one, which would be, I think, artist. So I don't really wear berets, but berets is like the artist thing. Oh. So I think the 3. Ooh, guy with books. So like maybe librarian. They're very specific character driven. Ooh. Looking at information to find weaknesses in hitting people with heavy books. Interesting. I don't even do like a lot of painting. So having it be like the typical painterly look is really funny to me. I think that is another great thing about the game, is that you can think of like your own contestant, which is really fun. The stock way to depict an artist, yeah. Which I think works really well, as you can see, for like what they did here. Give myself blushes. I guess I should have made them pink. No! There. That's just how it looks. It's not even colored in, it's just artist. Might make it a little smaller so it doesn't take up too much space. Okay, so a person with a lot of books. What do you think your title would be? Researcher? Oh, haven't painted in a while. I feel like I haven't. I don't know, let's start with the dice. Old cabinets. With nice looking. Oh. The pressure of. Making stuff look nice. What else do you think you'd have? Maybe Explorer would like fit. Because you're exploring the internet to find things. Glasses. Is what they look like. Official design. I guess I could have them. Yeah. It's also just really cute, style-wise. Not only was the sound good, but like a archaeological, or how do you call it? Archaeology, dig site thing. You know, finding stuff, making discoveries. Fifth cap. I don't know. I don't know if that's what that's called or not. Oh god. Man, I always draw things so big. Yay. Oh shoot. Oh no. No. Oh god, hurry. Hurry. End task. Did it work? Are we still here? Are we still here? Oh, that was close. That was close. I don't know if you saw it, but my computer did the thing again. Or rather, my tablet did the thing. My tablet did the thing that I don't know what it is, but something that the driver like messes up in some way. You might have seen it at the bottom. I actually don't know if you guys can see that, but the memory load. When that goes orange, that's bad. That means the tablet's like, I'm gonna take up all of your memory usage for no reason at all. Luckily, it doesn't happen very often. Like, it's very rare. Explorer / researcher. I'm glad I caught it in time. How old's my computer? 2017. So, 4 years. Which I think in computer terms is like, oh, that's kind of old, but eh. Again, it's actually the thing that I have to do to fix it when I'm in Task Manager is end the I don't know how to describe it. The thing that comes up says tablet mode driver, and I have to end it. I have to end that task. Which doesn't do it. Like, you can see I'm still using my tablet. Like, it doesn't interfere with it. It just, I don't even know why it does that. So I think it's more of an issue with the tablet than the computer. That, like, something in the programming glitches out, and it's like, oh, I'm going to start taking more memory for some reason. Oh, God. Still 20 more minutes. So you would hit with books. Look up weaknesses. Which is a thing that a good chunk of the enemies have. I don't know what my artist like approach would be. Because as mentioned, these three here, Thief has damage of 1,000 or death of 1,000 cuts, so a lot of small hitting ones. Venter changes up her main source of attack every battle. And then Warriors is pretty standard, like axes, swords, stuff like that. So I don't know what my approach would be. Yeah, art comes to life. I was just thinking that to like make your own weapon, like anything you wanted almost. I don't know. It feels a little similar to the Thief's Steel. They can also steal the Thief. At the same time, Well, each of the cards is a different color. So maybe something with that could be worked in. You read my mind, Aqua. About something about different colors. Yeah. Elemental. Tax. Ooh. Each has different elements. So, like, one could be poison. I know that's not quite an element, but two could be electric. Something like that. Yeah, where, like, even if you're using other standard cards, depending on the... So, like, if you're fighting Wicker Man up here, wherever he went, he's weak to fire. So if you do fire, it does double damage. So, like, if you had, like, 4 is fire, and, like, in your hand you had a 6 and a 4, you might want to use the 4, because then you do 8 damage. Yeah. Anyone else have... No need to apologize. Streams are here just for having a good, fun time. I'm not taking attendance or anything. I never liked when classes did that. Sometimes you're sick. Sometimes you just don't want to go. Sometimes you have homework to do. I mean, you can just call me Sono. Or whatever works. Yes, what kind of dice RPG contestant would you be? We talked over the main stuff with the game. So now we're making our own. I was an artist dice, where my attacks are based on colors. And then Aqua was an explorer and researcher. Hits with books and looks up weaknesses. Ooh. Man. Very haphazard in my note taking. If you're wondering on if you want to play this or not, I had said earlier, a good jumping in point is Steven plays his first 20 of Dicey Dungeons. Because it's I think like 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe. You get the general gist of the game too within, I'd say, like the first 5-10 minutes. Because that video is what made me want to play the game. Because I saw him playing it and I went, wow, that looks really, really fun. I would say it's a good roguelike to jump into. Because I've definitely seen other types that I didn't quite like as much. But because it is like a turn-based roguelike, it's a little bit easier for someone like me that's trying it out. Because then I have time to think. Yeah, I don't think I've seen much about this game anywhere really else. So it's one of those games you can tell if you love it just by watching it play. It was for me. It was for me. Or at the very least, as I was watching, I was like, ooh, I would do this. Or, ooh, I'd get that weapon. Or, you know? Because there are definitely some games where it's like, you can kind of get the experience even without playing it necessarily. Or like you can tell that the gameplay wouldn't be for you, but you want to see it go through. Or like it's a linear story. This isn't. The gameplay is so varied and fun that I definitely recommend playing it. But I always say to make sure before you make a purchase to like be sure about it. Which again, this isn't a very long video. I'd say it's a safer bet to watch the video since that'll let you know pretty well, I think. So what kind of dice do you think you would be? Big nails. I guess without the context, it's a little bit harder. Talking about it is making me want to play another round. Which, if I knew that my internet could handle it, I'd try streaming it, but alas. I do think it is on Steam, now that I'm saying that. So the context of Dicey Dungeons is that you are in a game show, and at first it's played pretty straight that you're just in the game show going through the dungeons to win whatever prize you wanted. So like the warrior, he's like, I just want to work out, and I'm like, oh, okay. Thief wants a lot of money, inventor wants to, invent stuff. You're versus Lady Luck. And as you're fighting, you use dice to use your attacks. So like Venus Flytrap here, if you rolled a 6 and you put it in here, then that means you also heal 2 damage. Or for Avalanche, if you have 3 or higher, you can put the dice in there, do that damage, and then it re-rolls the dice. And if you get a 1 for this lock card, you can use the lock card. That's a very, very simple way of putting it, but yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like a D&D character-ish. So as you go through the game, these are the first 3 that you have, and you unlock some more. But we were talking about if we got to make one, what we would do. Hence, artist and the explorer researcher. Just gonna label this Aquas. Me. Man, thinking about it, you could do a small D&D campaign with this as like a framework. Ooh, a medic. That's a neater idea, like focusing around healing stuff. What would I... My first thing is the Metopia, like, Popat. I'm not sure how to draw that, actually. Oh. Okay. Put the red cross. And then, what else do medics have? Thermometer? Oh no. Having trouble thinking of what doctors hold. Health potion? Stethoscope. There we go. Man, when was the last time I drew a stethoscope? I want a first aid box. There we go. Medic. Focus on healing. Yeah, that'd probably be a whole nother battle style where it would be like almost pacifism. Ooh, that's exciting, Aqua. Can't wait to read it. There we go. We've got our own startup team for the sequel. No. It really is a fun game. Not lying, I may go get my Switch after this and just play it. For that question, Big Nails, I feel like most realistic, as in like yet, that they've been able to emulate. That would be my guess anyway. Da-na-na-na. To be fair, some of those older games do still look nice. If I ever get good internet, so to see history. Yeah, one day, maybe. One day. I'll have to check with my roommate one day to see if I can, or like on a day that she's working, to go out into the, like, right by where the router is, and, like, I don't know, directly plug my computer into it, maybe see if that helps. Gosh, there was a day, I think like 3 weeks ago for the stream, where we had no frame drops, and I don't know what was different. I wish I knew. What's my favorite game box art? I'm gonna go. Well, I was gonna say one of my favorite games, but I was like, well, it might just be the fact that it's one of my favorite games rather than like the box art itself. And also, there's a lot of box art out there. I'll say artistically. So this is a different answer than what I was going to give. I think maybe Breath of the Wild. I think it's because I already like Breath of the Wild style. And then it's like a simple cover, but it does give you that, like, it's like a powerful image, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I don't look at a lot of whatever you call it, box art. Or like I do, but I don't like think about it that often. Yeah, if you guys end up playing it. Yeah, that's a good point. Aqua, I feel like I need to care about a game for the box art to resonate with me. Oh, right. That's another good one, Xenoblade. Though again, that I feel like a part of that is the resonating, like, part of it. Because, like, that's the title screen, and then, like, when you play it, it's like, oh, you know, like, it hits you more. If that makes any sense. Ooh. And Xenoblade's one of those games that, like, I would love to play again, but my god, is it long. Like, and it's not even, like, it's not long in the sense of, like, Tales of Symphonia long, where I know that game well enough that I can just beat it real quick. But god, it's very long. Also, I did a lot of comics on it already, so I'm like, well, it's done its time. If I was gonna play it again, I know people would be like, you could do more? You could do more? It's like, I don't know. I just gotta do it when I feel like I wanna do. So I like Xenoblade 1 or 2 boxes art? Well, I think they're both, like, I like both of them. That's the thing with RPGs, they're so long, yeah. Same thing with visual novels. But yeah, at least nowadays, if I am gonna get into a new game, I can, like, justify it being like, oh, maybe I'll get some comic ideas, and even if I don't, there could have been some somehow. For, like, older games that are longer that I've played already and done content on, it's like, shoot. Like, I know, I could play it, but it is also because it is so long. Like, it's so long. So long. Ooh, ever 15. Did I wish for more Zelda at E3? I'm not a very big E3 person. Like, I honestly forgot it was a thing. And I feel like wishing for stuff is like almost setting up for the disappointment. Because there are so many things that they could do, like, possibilities. But, like, even though they did, like, tons of announcements, it still wasn't even a fraction of the possibilities, you know? Oh yeah, playing through with friends. Heck yeah. That's a great way to experience a game again. Or a series. I do that with what God knows all the time. Like, do you want to watch it with me? You want to watch it with me, or like tell me about it as you're reading it? Yeah, I forgot E3 was happening. Like, even though people were talking about it, it came to the day and I was like, oh yeah. And then I was like, oh, that's neat. Seriously, I'm excited for that Mario Party. Which, okay, well, I'm excited, but also, like, crossing my fingers. I'm like, please don't do another top 100 where you had all the cards right there and then you botched it. I'll probably play online with some people, yay! If my internet cooperates. Hopefully it does. Yeah, so that was Dicey Dungeons discussion. Hopefully I convinced y'all to try out the game. Technically we actually haven't reached an hour. I always start at 5 minutes early so that people can come in. And so I can make sure that things are running well enough that I can actually do stuff. I'm actually not a very big Metroid person. I'm like, oh, that's neat. And then I'm mostly happy for other people that wanted it. But yeah, again, I guess I was more so trying to convince to check it out. Because even though it is affordable, on the $20 side of things, again, I do recommend to look into stuff first, just to make sure that you would like it. Because I definitely have recommendations, but I don't have the same tastes as everybody. Ooh, your big Nintendo series are Punch-Out!, Kid Icarus, and Mario. The first two are one of my friends' favorites, too. Like, is that you? We are now approaching closer to an hour. In which case, I'm not sure what I'm going to do right after this. I think I might go for a walk because it's actually nice today. Maybe pick up some snacks. Or some sort of food. I'm not sure what. I've been wanting lasagna, but it's been hot recently and I don't want to cook it. And I don't want to pick or do delivery because that's more money. I don't know if I have about a minute. DK64 good or bad? There's definitely good and bad things about it. I lean towards good. I really like it, personally. But in any case, we have hit the hour mark. I finished all the dice discussions half an hour ago. But luckily we did at least make some of our own dice, which was fun. In any case, I shall see you guys next week. I'm not sure of what I'm going to be doing, actually, but we shall see. I shall figure something out. Bye!